The pain consultants. So who does your pain or stress go to before it decides to make you suffer or not? That's an interesting way to think about it. I'll show you how your sensations, as well as your thoughts and emotions, have anatomical structures that filter, reduce, refine, elaborate, or amplify your potential pain sensation before passing it along. Later in this series, I'll share a really effective technique to help make sure these pain consultants are serving in your best interest, and the truth shall set you free. For now, let's see who those pain consultants are and how they have so much influence over you. So let's take them from the bottom up, bottom to the top, as this is how pain is most helpfully experienced. So there are 7 areas that influence this signal: your perception of it and your reaction to it, but only one is conscious. Wow, that's a lot of consultants or cooks in the kitchen, and only one that you have control over. No wonder things feel helpless and hopeless at times. So hold on. I did not say that you only have control or influence over just one, but that only one is conscious. But I digress. Today is primarily about the anatomy, not the solutions. Lots of great solutions are coming later. Okay, right now, here, right down here, you have a tack or a thorn, right? So in our picture, we step on a thorn and it causes tissue damage that fires off signals saying that tissue damage down here, right? That's pretty much it. And you have context traveling with it. Pressure was being applied to the right foot during normal gait. Okay, so that's the first signal. And then up in the dorsal horn, where's the dorsal horn? So that's in the spinal cord, back of the spinal cord. So here we picture the spinal cord here and here. And the signal comes up, and at that level, the area where neurons from the body converge, every single level of the spine, this happens. Signals from above were suggesting, this is what the dorsal horn is thinking, signals from above were suggesting that we should be light on our feet, but they were overridden by being off balance on that last step. Also, hormones and pain regulating signals from above, which would come from this area up in here, said we should keep to the status quo for now. All right, then at the cerebellum, where's the cerebellum? Right here, or here. At the cerebellum, it says, all right, here at the back of the base of the skull, conversation goes like this. We were in a normal walking gait cycle program. The ground was a bit pokey with dead grass and where stickers are known to be. We were prepared for that, suggesting walking more lightly in this area, sending updated calibrations for all systems, physical, chemical, and mental processes. Stand by for transmission. Okay, done. Nearby, the periaqueductal gray, easy for me to say, so up here in the brainstem, has this to say. Based on reports from other consultants, especially the basal ganglia, I think we should turn up the pain signals. What? Yes. So I'll send appropriate chemicals to all involved areas to make this easier and decrease the output of pain-reducing chemicals. I'll also put in an order to the organ control center, or the hypothalamus, so more blood flow is available overall. And then we have the thalamus. Thalamus is up in here. So as the modification center and refiner of all sensations, so this is our thalamus talking, all sensations, okay, except smell and maybe some emotion, are like sensations of thought or smells of the mind. Okay, as a filter and a refiner of almost all sensations, I'm taking everything into consideration and passing it along to the next stop in the higher brain centers that are primarily involved in that sensation. It may appear that I am just a relay, but what you have to get is definitely colored by all the other consultants. So in this case, all sensations will be amplified, but let's focus on the foot and visual context of having this thing that we stepped on causing pain. So next is the frontal lobe. Frontal lobe up here, right? Well, everyone knows I'm the boss. What I say goes. Okay, well, in a purely rational scenario, what I say goes. We'll talk about the limbic or emotional centers next, which are very influential. In fact, as much as we like to think that our thinking and judgment parts are uniquely human, brain parts these are regulators and drive our decisions. So, as much as we like to think the frontal lobe is in control of everything, they mostly just come up with lofty explanations to justify our actions. Well, at least that's what the latest neuroscience reporters tell us. I don't entirely buy that part. And it's partly because as a Christian, I strive to subject my personal desires and emotional reactions to the standard of my beliefs. But this much is certainly true. The thinking frontal lobe can only be an influence or regulator of other actions when the limbic system is willing to listen. So, in this stepped on a thorn scenario, these signals might say, yeah, that did hurt. There's no reason to jump into any more conclusions than that. It just is what it is. I suppose you shouldn't walk barefoot out there anymore. Okay, now the limbic system. Largely composed of the hippocampus, which is the memory area, the amygdala and cingulate, which process and attach emotions to memories and suggest appropriate memories, emotions, and pain perception. So first, the memories rush back in. Your dog died last week, right over there, in that spot. You used to walk out here every day. Of course, you had shoes on. This is probably an unlikely. This is a likely scenario. You're just unlucky. This is an unlucky place to be. You better watch out. Someone or something is clearly working against you. If this takes a long time or there's complications, you may miss work tomorrow. Then your boss will have one more thing against you. The sun feels good when it's bright and warm like this, but that won't last at this rate. The last modification center involved today is the basal ganglia, which says, hey, thalamus, master regulator, the PAG, the primary perioccipital gray, the primary pain and arousal regulator, and frontal lobe thinking centers. As co-consultants to this sensation, I suggest you do what you can to amplify this one based on what I am learning and hearing from the limbic system. Hey, sensation center of the parietal lobe in perioccipital gray. So parietal lobe up here, right? Sensory center. Down in the brainstem, you do the same. The nucleus accumbens, more toward the fronto-inferior portion, inside here, right in here, of the limbic system, gets an honorable mention today also because of all the research showing in connection to predicting the movement of pain to chronic pain. Basically, it translates motivation into action. It takes the emoting parts of the brain and tells the active parts of the brain to act on what the deeper parts of the brain are motivated to do. So in this step on a thorn scenario, it might sound like this. Frontal lobe, that really hurt, both physically and emotionally. So we need to move this body away from this place of misery and do what it takes to start avoiding misery and pain a lot more aggressively than we have so far. Don't concern yourself with my reasoning. That's not my job to give you reasons. If you want reasons, figure it out on your own. Frontal lobe, peace out. Wow, your brain is amazing. Truly, it's super powerful and efficient. It does so much good on its own, but it does need nurturing so that it serves you well. We nurture our brains physically, chemically, and mentally, emotionally. So we'll talk about how the spiritual fits in this well at some point. For now, recognize that the emotion or motivation that is served up to your conscious brain is based on a lot of data, but also based on pre-existing nerve programs and pathways that may not serve you well at all at this present time. So it's okay to question them as part of a healthy life. That's all for today. Make it a wonderful one, and may God bless you.